morning and welcome to our Newington Community Primary School's AAA Vadio Remembrance Day celebration. We hope that you enjoy learning about Remembrance Day and that you'll understand the huge sacrifice that millions of people in the past have made so our lives can be free today.
But what is Remembrance Day? Remembrance Day was originally known as Armistice Day and is held on the 11th November each year. It marks the day World War I ended at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month, back in 1918.
A 2-minute silence is held at 11 a.m. to remember all the people who have died in all wars, not just World War I.
To remember the early years of Remembrance Day and the sacrifice made by soldiers during the First World War, our senior choir will now sing 2 songs that were popular with the soldiers during that time.
During the First World War, marching bands were sent to accompany the troops. Soldiers would put on concert parties and perform popular songs of the day. In the long periods of waiting between battles, songs played an important role in fighting boredom and boosting morale. Our first song, A Long Way to Tipperary, was the first big hit of the war.
It is a lively tune and is different to other war songs because it doesn't talk about the heroics of the war, but instead it's a song about missing home and longing to be back with family and loved ones.
Our next song is called Pack Up Your Troubles. As the First World War continued, upbeat messages about staying cheerful and carrying on, such as Pack Up Your Troubles, played a vital role in keeping spirits up.
The songs united people in a shared experience, whether they were at home or fighting abroad.
Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. While you lose some fun to light your fag, smile boys, that's the style. What's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So, pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. While you lose your fun to light your fag, smile boys, that's the style. What's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So, pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. Newington AAA Vadio, ambition and achievement and aspiration. Newington AAA Vadio, ambition and achievement and aspiration.
As well as Remembrance Day, which falls on the 11th of November, there is also Remembrance Sunday every year, which falls on the second Sunday in November.
There are usually ceremonies at war memorials, cenotaphs and churches throughout the country. The royal family and top politicians gather at the cenotaph in Whitehall, London, for a memorial service.
The anniversary is used to remember all the people who have died in wars, not just World War I.
This includes World War II, the Falklands War, the Gulf War and conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq.
It is time to remember the terrible suffering of people during the war, but also a time to wish for peace in the world.
Our next song is a celebration of power of peace, love, hope and faith that would make our world a better place.
It is called Peace is Flowing Like a River.
Peace is flowing like a river, flowing out for you and me, spreading out into the desert, setting all the people free. Faith is flowing like a river, flowing out for you and me, spreading out into the desert, setting all the people free. Hope is flowing like a river, flowing out for you and me, spreading out into the desert, setting all the people free. Love is flowing like a river, flowing out for you and me, spreading out into the desert, setting all the people free. Peace is flowing like a river, flowing out for you and me, spreading out into the desert, setting all the people free. Newington AAA Radio Show, yeah!
Every year at the beginning of November, people begin to wear poppies.
Most of us know that it's something to do with the remembering people who have died in the war. But what are they for and what does the poppy symbolise?
Poppies are red flowers which are worn to show others that you are remembering those who died for their country. The reason poppies are used is because they are the only flowers which grew on the battlefields in Belgium during World War I. Soldiers who were fighting were amazed to see bright red poppies growing amongst the land that had been destroyed by war.
After the war, soldiers that returned to the battlefield saw fields full of red poppies above the land where many soldiers were buried.
Poppies make a very good symbol for remembrance because they are very delicate flowers that only live for a short time, which is rather like the young men and women killed in battle.
A Canadian doctor called John McCrae, who was working to help soldiers during World War I, wrote a poem in 1915 about his experiences of war and the poppies growing on the graves of dead soldiers.
He called the poem In Flanders Fields, and despite him initially throwing the poem in the bin, it became one of the most famous war poems of all time.
It begins, in Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row.
An American poet called Moyna Michael read the beautiful poem.
It gave her the idea of using poppies to remember the dead, but also to help the living at the same time.
She began to sell artificial poppies to raise money for the ex-servicemen and their families.
This idea was adopted in Britain by the Royal British Legion.
Each year, volunteers go out and sell these poppies in the streets all over Britain, and every donation helps brave people who fought in wars.
We hope that you wear a poppy with pride and give a donation to help soldiers and their families.
We've finished our AAA radio performance with our own version of In Flanders Fields. Pupils came up with the idea of using children's nursery rhymes so that the poetry could become easier to learn.
Mr. Eldred helped set it to music, and the finished song includes variations of the tune of
the Grand Old Duke of York and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
We'll hope you enjoy our performance of our school's own Remembrance Day song.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. We are the dead short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset go. Loved and we loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. Take up a quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we shall not sleep though poppies grow. In Flanders fields.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you've enjoyed our AAA Remembrance Assembly.
We will return with the Christmas Vadio edition in December.
We're proud.